Alright, what's up, you knobs? I am not British, but I am today. Why am I saying that? Simple. Because the GOAT of GOATs, E Productions, Ethan McCoy, E Pro, whatever you want to refer to that man as, he has done the unthinkable. He has now started putting out a novel. That's right, you heard me, a novel. We're looking at the man who made Day by Day, his first ever song release, which we reacted to over the summer. But now 2026 is kicking in and he's got even more stuff in store for us. He's showing that he's more than a YouTuber, more than a musician. Now he's showing us that he is an author. And he has this wondrous story that he has started writing. And the story in question is titled A World Beyond the Black Hole. Now this is gonna be amazing. You know, if you follow this channel, you know ePro always delivers when it comes to content, to anything he does. So I'm very, very curious to read this and see how this comes out to be. We're going to be starting by reading the prologue. Now, there's 2 chapters out, but we're going to start with the prologue, okay? Because that's where the story begins. Deep out in space, on an unknown planet, it was bustling with life. Insects of all different shapes and sizes crawling, burrowing, and hovering around. Cernalic, a rather unique insect, in appearance half a grasshopper, half ant-like, was play fighting with his friend in the colony. His best friend Yuza, part dragonfly and part hornet, was joining in as they were shoveling pebbles at each other. Yuza chucked a pebble, hitting Cernalic on the head. Ha, you lost again. Thought you were quick, Yuza mocked, grinning smugly. Damn it, Cernalic chuckled, slightly salty. Then he got an idea. Hey Yuza, over there, look! Cernalic pointed, pretending to look surprised. Huh? I don't see anything. Before Yuza could finish, Cernalic launched a pebble, bouncing straight off Yuza's head. Oh, you dirty cheat. Yuza laughed. Slightly embarrassed, he fell for it. Cernalic let out a yawn. Welp, summer's ending soon. I best build my burrow ready for winter, he said, feeling fatigued. Yeah, I should probably do the same myself, Yuza nodded, looking around for any materials to use to craft a hibernation space. The creator steadily began assembling makeshift beds out of fragments of rocks, which upon completion formed a cave of sorts. The blistering cold temperature soon started to set in as all the insects took refuge in their hibernation spots. All life on the planet was sound asleep. The igneous rock cave, providing insulation and comfort for all the resting creatures. After a few months, as the air temperature began to rise, the surface of the planet suddenly shook violently. Huh? What? Son? If this is another one of your pranks, I swear, Yuza said. Irritated as he stretched, he turned to face Cernalic, only to discover him still peacefully deep asleep. As the ground continued shaking, more and more insects steadily crawled out from their deep slumber to investigate, which woke Cernalic. What? What's happening right now? He said, groggy and rubbing his eyes. Something is causing the ground to shake. I don't know what, but it's concerning. I think we better investigate. Yuza replied, a sense of urgency in his tone. Looking all around the surface, the insects were mystified to find nothing. Was it an asteroid? Maybe, Yuza asked, perplexed. Cernalic turned to look back at Yuza and shrugged. Or gamma ray? Cernalic murmured. While Cernalic stood contemplating what could have been the cause, he could hear the faint sound of gushing water, closely followed by Yuza's voice. Cern? I think I found it. He shouted from a distance. Cernalic's antenna perked up as he scuttled towards the direction Yuza's voice came from. What is this thing? Yuza asked, looking at Cernalic with an expression of deep concern. All the other insects were gazing up at a powerful geyser shooting out a huge stream of water from the surface. I don't know. I've never seen that before. I don't think this is normal, Cernalic replied anxiously, his attention still half fixated on the giant stream jetting out from the ground. Are we gonna... Yuza paused as his uncertainty grew. Are we gonna what? Cernalic asked, puzzled, still looking at the geyser from his peripherals. Yuza hesitated before falling to the ground and lying motionless. What? Die? Surely not. I mean, Cernalic replied, trying to be positive. I don't want to die. screamed an insect from the crowd behind him. This set off a panic among the entire colony as they all ran around frantically. Hey, everyone, let's try to remain calm, okay? Sir Nalick bellowed, causing everyone to stop in their tracks. I think I have an idea of how we can fix this, he continued. How? Have you seen the size of this? This, whatever this thing is? Yuza asked, still very uncertain. Yes, I know. But I think the strategy could work, Sir Nalick replied, sounding slightly more confident. Okay, yapping youngster. Hurry it up and tell us then. I want to go back to sleep, an old male spider-looking creature shouted. Sir Nalick glared at him through the sea of other insects before elaborating on his plan. Okay, so it's gonna need a few courageous volunteers, but if a few of us come up and we all jump on it at the same time, it could plug the hole, and the water will stop gushing out, Sir Nalick said, sounding more sure of things. So, who's up for it? He asked, looking around the crowd. Yuza made eye contact with Sir Nalick, briefly hesitant. You know what? I trust you are right. I'll do it, he said bravely, crawling up next to Sir Nalick. Gradually, more and more of them followed and began working their way towards Sir Nalick. Okay, that's now at least a good 100 of us. Let's hope this works, he said, reaching a hand out to Yuza, stood next to him. They both closed their eyes and took a slow, deep breath before leaping onto the hole where the geyser sprayed out a huge stream of water, sending Sir Nalick, Yuza, and the others careening out through space. Sir Nalick and Yuza both screamed in horror as they were helpless to the trajectory which they were being shot through the atmosphere, passing out from the intensity. After an hour of being airborne, the two friends crash-landed face first on a forest floor, magenta in color, and seemingly with no sign of any life around. Alright folks, now it is time to move on to chapter 1 of this story. Slowly, both critters started to regain consciousness and rise up, groaning. Sir Nalick scratched the dust off his body and cleared his eyes. Wait, hang on. Where are we? This isn't home, he said, as he looked around to see the forest area was completely magenta, purple-looking shrubs and trees, and the sky an orangey yellow in color. No! Oh, no! Yuza yelled, panicking as he also began to realize they were on a foreign landscape. Okay, let's just... Sir Nalick said, trying to process the situation. How can I calm down? Yuza shrieked. We're completely lost on who knows where and who knows how far away from home. He roared, increasingly worried. Maybe we just walk through this forest and try to find any civilization. Maybe someone could help us back home. Sir Nalick answered, trying to think logically. The two looked at each other unnerved before making a start walking through the forest terrain. Hello? Yuza called out, fear and apprehension in his tone. We're gonna have to be louder than that, Yuza, Sir Nalick said, putting an arm around him for comfort. Sir Nalick cleared his throat before calling out, Anybody here? He cried, his voice reverberating all through the forest. The pair of them paused for a few seconds, waiting for any sounds from the forest or a voice to respond back, but still heard nothing. Surely we can't be completely isolated here, right? Sir Nalick asked, starting to think they could be entirely alone and stranded on a new planet. I hope not, Yuza replied fearfully. Just then, as they gradually made a few more steps forward, something flew overhead at a high speed, shining a blinding bright platinum and leaving a trail of silver dust behind it. Sir and Yuza slowly lowered their hands from shielding their eyes. What was that? Yuza asked in a mix of fright and curiosity. No idea. It was so quick and so bright. A comet, maybe? Sir Nalick assumed, trying to compartmentalize what they witnessed. Just then, from high up above in the canopy came the sound of a slight rustling of leaves. The two friends stood poised, Sir Nalick equipping his blade in anticipation of an attack. With both of their eyes closely watching the sky, suddenly the bright platinum glow emerged again, causing Sir Nalick to drop his weapon and the pair of them to freeze. This time, Sir Nalick tried catching a glimpse of the mysterious entity from his peripherals. As the platinum flash faded, he observed the silhouette of a relatively small creature with 4 wings. Did you see what it was? Yuza asked, starting to grow more frightened. A glance, Cernalic replied, still quite uncertain. And? Yuza prompted, expecting him to describe it. Well, I got that it was a smallish creature with wings, Cernalic detailed, slightly less intimidated. Do you think it wants to attack us? Yuza replied, still tentative. Nah, it was flying so high, I doubt it even saw us, but it does seem to be circling the area. So maybe it lives here, Cernalic assumed. Well, whatever the case, we should follow where it flew and ask if it can help us back home, he added, taking steps towards the purplish trees. Wait, Yuza shouted, putting an arm in front of Cernalic. What if it's a trap? The platinum glow thing might just be a strategy to draw us in and get eaten by that creature. Yuza followed, paranoid. I think that's a stretch. Let's not jump to any conclusions yet, Cernalic replied, starting to make his way up into the canopy where the winged creature was. Yuza followed closely behind, shaking and sweating and filled with dread. As they both reached the very top, Cernalic slowly parted the magenta leaves of the tree, unveiling a branch where they caught a glimpse of a creature with 4 cobalt blue wings with black stripes, a pair of mint green eyes, and short antennas that curved off into a leaf shape was sat. The creature let out a scream of horror, startling Cernalic and Yuza and causing them to fall from the canopy down to the forest floor below, before shooting off in a flash of platinum once again. Ow! My head! Cernalic groaned as he helped Yuza to his feet. Well, that went well. Our one chance to get back home, and it just flew away. Yuza sighed, shaking the dirt and leaves off himself. Let's try to maintain hopeful. Maybe they'll come back, Cernalic replied, sitting down on a small rock near the trees. What makes you so sure? We don't know anything about this place, and they could have gone anywhere, Yuza said, dejected. As the cobalt creature was soaring through the atmosphere, they realized they left something behind and turned back towards the forest area. Well then, best we accept that we're here forever now? Better just explore the planet and get familiar with it, Yuza shrugged, turning to walk away. Hold on now, is that? Cernalic paused, narrowing his gaze. Is that what? Yuza asked, still sounding defeated. There's that shiny glow again, Cernalic said excitedly. Yuza's antenna perked up as he turned around to see the bright platinum light. The friends began to wave their arms rapidly and call out in hopes to get the creature to come to a halt. The creature decided to stop, not landing in front of the pair, but instead on a branch above where they were standing. Hey, sorry if we alarmed you before, but, Yuza stuttered, not sure how to explain their situation. Kind of a funny story. An accident happened and we crash landed on this planet. We were wondering if you'd happen to know how we could get home. Cernalic finished, rubbing the back of his head nervously. Sorry, no, a soft, whispery voice replied. Sorry, could you repeat that? I didn't catch that, Cernalic said, confused. No, I'm sorry, the creature replied, slightly louder, avoiding eye contact. No? Oh, well, thank you for stopping anyway. We're completely new here, so it's a lot to digest, huh? He chuckled, trying to befriend the creature. It's foreign to me too, murmured the creature, still looking at the floor. Cernalic and Yuza looked at each other, unsure of what next to say. So, do you have any friends who might know how to help us get back? Yuza asked, hoping to get a more audible response. Not sure. They went, the voice whispered back. They went? Do you know where? Cernalic said, trying to gather some more details. No, the creature stuttered, getting more uncomfortable. Oh, how rude of me. I haven't even introduced us yet. Sorry, allow me. I'm Cernalic, and this is my best friend Yuza. We're originally from somewhere else where the scenery looks a bit different to here, and we're hoping to somehow find our way home. Cernalic explained, trying to be more open. I'm originally from somewhere else too, the creature replied, still in a soft whispering tone. Oh, so you're pretty new to this place too, Cernalic concluded. That explains the screaming when we climbed the canopy. Yuza chuckled, trying to find humor in the awkward situation. So, if you don't mind me asking, what's your name? Cernalic asked, trying to establish a friendship. The creature paused, making an almost defensive movement before hesitantly answering. Velvet, she uttered, just audible enough to be heard. Velvet? That's a really cool name, Cernalic complimented. hoping Velvet would now feel more at ease towards the pair of them. I must go now, Velvet said as she began to flap her wings. This might seem too soon to ask, but can we tag along? If we're gonna be stuck here, I figured we might as well get to grips with the environment, Yuza said, hoping not to make things any more awkward. Velvet stammered, reluctant to answer. Cernalic and Yuza looked at each other, gritting their teeth as Velvet paused. After some thought, Velvet looked at the sky, then at her wings. I'm not sure how helpful I'd be, but okay. She nodded, still not making full eye contact. The insects all took off together in flight. Looking down all around the area, wow, big place. We definitely would have got lost here if you hadn't shown up, Cernalic said, taken aback by the size of the place. Our home planet was a lot smaller compared to this, said Yuza, shocked. Velvet chuckled slightly. Yeah, it is big, she nodded. There was a brief awkward silence before Cernalic decided to break it by asking Velvet a question. So, about the whole platinum glow thing, what's the story behind that? He said, intrigued. It's nothing, Velvet whispered, pretending to focus on something ahead. Aw, come on, you must have a cool backstory to tell, Cernalic prompted playfully. It's not, Velvet said, intentionally trying to disengage from the conversation. The three critters descended upon a more populated area of forest where all kinds of different species were roaming around. Velvet paused momentarily and looked at the sky before murmuring to Cern and Yuza. Good luck, she whispered before starting to take off. Wait, hang on. We like your company. You're the first creature we've met here, Cernalic exclaimed, stopping her before she could gain any altitude. Yeah, and plus, it's less intimidating having more friends to navigate this place together, Yuza added, further trying to convince Velvet to stick around with them. Caught off guard, Velvet went into a fight-or-flight mode and froze, half wanting to leave so as to avoid interacting any further, but half feeling empathy for them and thinking about the shame she would feel leaving them behind. I'll stay, she murmured, looking at the insects walking past. What was that? Sorry, Cernalic asked, confused. I'll stay, Velvet repeated, just slightly more audible. Oh, whew, Cernalic said, relieved they wouldn't have to be alone. So, how are you finding this place since you ended up here? Yuza asked, trying to break the ice. It's okay, I guess. Just, Velvet paused, looking at a pebble on the ground. It's just what? Cernalic asked, looking somewhat perplexed. Different to home, Velvet said, looking down and fidgeting with a piece of the magenta grass. Home? Yuza replied, his head slightly tilted in intrigue. Green, she replied cryptically. Cernalic and Yuza briefly looked at each other, assuming Velvet's reply to mean her home planet was green. Oh, interesting. That sounds really vibrant, Cernalic said, as the pair of them nodded. Cernalic and Yuza stopped. Yuza motioned for him to come closer to tell him something. She gives off the impression she wants to be left alone, he whispered. Maybe she doesn't like us asking questions, Cernalic whispered back as he shrugged. Maybe we try another method instead of asking her things, he concluded, still partially uncertain. The weather seems nice, I'll admit. I like how chill everything is too, Cernalic said, smiling. Yeah, replied Velvet anxiously. Thank you for caring enough to stay with us. We certainly weren't expecting anyone to be so understanding or generous, Yuza said gleefully. Upon hearing his praiseworthy words, Velvet let out a very soft and quiet sigh. Yeah, I just, glad to help, she followed, feeling unsure how to take Yuza's compliment. Certainly a big place to navigate all on your own, a lot to digest for sorry, I don't think I asked yet. If you don't mind me asking, what species are you exactly? Cernalic asked hesitantly. Velvet stopped herself before quickly realizing she already half committed to answering. A moth, she finished, sighing and looking at the ground as she answered. Alright, well that was chapter 1. Let's move on to chapter 2. A moth? Huh. Well, they're awesome, very selfless, and helpful, Yuza replied. Yeah, if all moths are like you, they are the best in insect kind. You've been so kind as to help us grow more comfortable here already. Cernalic followed, smiling warmly at her. Velvet blushed, looking at her wings. Okay, she murmured, feeling uneasy. Cernalic's stomach grumbled. Damn, I haven't had anything to eat in a while now. You happen to know anywhere to grab a bite to eat? He asked, putting an arm on his stomach. There is one place, Velvet stammered, a little shaky. Oh, really? That's great. I haven't had so much as a nibble since hibernation. Cernalic chuckled, excited at the prospect of a meal. Velvet took off as the pair of critters followed, soaring through the atmosphere. After some time in flight, they descended on a section of forest with a few lilac stumps for seats and violet mounds for tables. You sure this is the right place? Cernalic asked, doubtful. Yeah, it doesn't really look like what I expected, Yuza agreed, raising an eyebrow. Velvet was about to respond, but didn't quite know what to say. They all sat down on stumps surrounding a mound, reading what there was to eat. Galactic grass sounds appetizing, said Cernalic, licking his lips. I think we're gonna go with the meteor munch, Yuza said, as he was rereading the description of the dish. Could you order mine for me, please? Velvet whispered to Cern with a look of fear as she noticed a waiter approaching them. Huh? Yeah, sure. What are you ordering? Cernalic said. Velvet pointed to a piece of text on the front page that simply read, Luscious Leaves. Hello, welcome to the Lunar Lounge. May I take your order? Greeted the waiter, an aphid-like life form. Oh yeah, could I please have the galactic grass? And my friend over here, she would like the luscious leaves, please, Cernalic said, pointing across to Velvet, who had her face hidden behind the menu. That wasn't so bad, actually. I was worried I'd be looking for a while at what to get given. We're not from here, chuckled Cernalic, relieved at the menu having something appealing to him. Yeah, same here. I wonder how big the portion sizes will be, Yuza said. Cernalic looked back over at Velvet, noticing she still had her face covered. Why are you still hiding? You do know he's gone now, right? He said, confused. In case he recognizes me, Velvet whispered. What do you mean? Yuza asked as the pair of them looked puzzled. Well, Before Velvet could find the words, the waiter returned to serve them their orders. Velvet breathed a sigh of relief at the perfectly timed distraction. Wow, this is a huge portion, Yuza exclaimed, taken aback. In front of Yuza was a tower of big oval-shaped patties between two red buns with a turquoise sauce spilling down the side. For Cernalic, a dish with magenta grass practically cascading off the plate, and for Velvet, a sizable bowl of different colored leaves with a complimentary beige dipping sauce. They all began digging into their food. I'll tell you what, this is really good for food from a completely foreign planet, Cernalic said while chewing. How are you liking yours, Yuza? He asked, looking across to see Yuza swiftly cutting right through the burger with his mandibles until all but a drop of sauce was left on his plate. Yuza burped, a blue mist emitted from his mouth from the burger sauce. Cernalic and Velvet looked at him with a mix of awe and disgust. I'll take that as you liked it, he chuckled, partly embarrassed. Did you all enjoy your food? The waiter asked, smiling warmly. For our first try of the food here, I've gotta say it was very nice, Cernalic said, as Yuza nodded. Oh, I was thinking you both looked like life forms that weren't from here. Tourists? The waiter followed, curious. Oh, haha, no, see, we actually ended up here by accident. Huge kind of water hole opened up on our home planet and shot us through space and we crash landed here, explained Cernalic, hoping he would understand. Oh, a geyser. Yeah, you aren't the first I've heard say that. A few others have said that exact thing to me. Must be something to do with the temperature, I'd assume, said the waiter, theorizing. Actually, since you're a local, what's the name of this planet? Yuza asked. Zenzuta, he replied swiftly. Yeah, I have a feeling I completely butchered the name of that planet. I'm so sorry, E-Pro. I am so sorry. Oh, sounds very exotic. Compared to ours, we're from Zorfon, said Cernalic. Wow, Zorfon, huh? I can't say I've ever heard of that planet. Must have been a big geyser to launch you out this far, the waiter answered, baffled. Oh yeah, tell us about it. We were very disoriented when we saw everything was all purple-like in forest areas, Yuza chuckled. I can imagine it is a very vibrant place to newcomers, but you'll get used to it. I will say though, it isn't all forest terrain. replied the waiter with a look of caution on his face. Oh, really? What else is out here? So far, all we've seen is forest, Sir Nalick asked, suddenly prompting him to divulge more. Well, there are mountains, but you would be wise not to venture out there, the waiter replied ominously. I see. Well, thank you for serving us lovely food. How much will it be? Asked Sir Nalick gleefully. That'll be 5 cosmic crowns, please, he said. Sir Nalick reached into his forewings and quickly realized he had nothing to give. As he was about to tell their waiter, the waiter noticed something. Oh, is that velvet? Forget about any bill. It's on the house, the waiter said, looking in complete disbelief. Huh? Are you sure you're not thinking of someone else? She's just our moth friend, Sir Nalick replied as he observed Velvet frantically nodding. Oh, no, I'm certain that's her. You boys are in good company with her showing you around, the waiter insisted. Are you sure we don't have to pay? Yuza asked, making double sure. Yes, it's on us. Look, my name is Gallimokyu. If you 3 need anything, come to me. Hopefully with her. She's got some value, said Gallimokyu, winking at Velvet, and that Velvet promptly took off. Cern and Yuza followed closely behind her. Would you mind explaining what that was about? Asked Sir Nalick, looking lost. Velvet turned away from looking at him. It's nothing, Velvet whispered, picking up her pace in flight. Well, it must be something. Surely they wouldn't give us a free meal if you were just anyone, Sir Nalick replied, doubling down. Yeah, are you like a famous figure or something? Yuza asked, trying to pry answers from her. Velvet paused as she grew more uncomfortable with how close to accurate Yuza's assumption about her was. I'm a regular customer, that's all, Velvet replied, hoping they would buy her fabricated answer. Ah, okay. So you get like VIP treatment for eating there, Sir Nalick asked. Velvet nodded, thankful they believed her lie. And with that said, folks, that is the first 2 chapters plus the prologue to Ipro's novel, A World Beyond the Black Hole. I'm really enjoying this novel so far. It's great. I'm liking the characters we got so far. The world building is already, for only like 2 chapters into the story, the world building is really great. Ipro, obviously, once more, I apologize for butchering any names or of anything, whether that be planets, characters, or whatnot. As you can probably tell, I'm not the greatest reader, so yeah, so I'm trying my best, you know, but overall, I do really enjoy the story. So far, I gotta say, Velvet's probably my favorite character so far. I like that she's a relatable character. See, you can tell that Velvet is incredibly socially anxious with any sort of interaction whatsoever, which is very relatable for most people who have any sort of social anxiety. They know so well, they can instantly pick up and relate to her character. A very shy and insecure character who has a really hard time socializing, and it's great. I can't wait to see where the story goes. I can only imagine that the world building and the character development is only further going to get better and better. And yeah, I really enjoyed the story so far. I'm just going to give a rating of what I've read so far. I think a pretty honest rating, at least for now, would probably be a good 8 out of 10 right now, just from what we got so far. And yeah, if you guys want to read the original story, the link will be in the description below. Make sure you leave a like, comment on the video. It helps the video do better in the YouTube algorithm. And yeah, with that being said, I've been Mr. Pizza. I'll catch you all in the next one. Reese's Pieces, everyone.